Yeah, another summer day out there, hot but slightly humid, so not overly oppressive, something you can be outdoors with and enjoy because it's going to be comfortable. And that's how we're going to go through today, but things will change. We are going to get back to heat and humidity, and that's how it's going to go throughout the entire upcoming week. So take advantage of this great day that we have on tap with the heat, but a little less humidity than where we should be this time of the year. At least on the Max Track, we stay clear. We're not expecting anything throughout the day today. In fact, the rain chance is even lower than where it was yesterday. And yesterday, we didn't have anything either. So obviously not much happening as that high pressure solidifies over the region. Showers and thunderstorms over northern Illinois, but also a lot of activity happening out there in Kansas and Nebraska, and that's a low that's moving closer to us. And what's going to happen with that is as it slides north and east, warm front crosses us, so as we're getting into tomorrow, the heat really starts to ramp up. And remember that high that's coming out of the Gulf of Mexico? Whenever it slides east, it ramps up the wind flow out of the south. So that's the heat and the humidity starting to really arrive as we get into the Tuesday, Wednesday time frame. Low will eventually cross us, cold front with it, and that will start to bring our temperatures down slightly. I mean, we're not talking about a big dip. It's going to be from the low 90s to the upper 80s, but it's also another shot at taking that humidity down, at least for a couple of days. And that's kind of the trend going forward, is we keep heat in the forecast. It's still summer. It's not letting up anytime soon, but every once in a while you get a front that comes through, and that kind of lowers that humidity a little bit to make things more comfortable. So on the future track, you'll notice that clouds really start increasing as we're getting into tomorrow morning and then throughout the day as well. That's kind of the only real change. A complex diving south early Tuesday morning will look to basically brush the Ohio River. I don't think we see much in our area with showers and thunderstorms. It's not until we get into that Tuesday evening time frame that we start to see a better chance as that cold front slides through. So temperatures from now on, basically low 90s, at least until we get to Wednesday and Thursday. Overnight lows are going up, so that means the humidity is starting to increase. But there will be a dip. And after that cold front comes through on Wednesday, you'll notice that the jet stream starts to take a little bit more of a dip towards us. High pressure kind of gets pushed off towards the four corners, so that means that we do get some cooler air in here, slightly, but it's something. But then what happens after that point, notice how that high starts to migrate back towards the East Coast, and by the time we're getting into the weekend and next week, we go right back up into the low 90s. So that's your temperature trend over the next few days. Low 90s to the upper 80s after the cold front comes through, and then we'll start to trek back into the low 90s getting into the weekend upcoming. Remember, our normal high for this time of the year is 86, so we are running well above that. Haven't talked about the tropics, at least not in the Atlantic, for a while, so let's go ahead and talk about why nothing is really happening. It's all because of the Saharan dust layer. We're sitting in Western Africa right now, putting the model into play and showing you the next 7 days. Look at this big bubble of dust that's just going to kind of sit through the Caribbean, eventually make its way into the Gulf of Mexico, dissipate out over the southeastern U.S. But basically, this dry, stable air is what's keeping any kind of development going. At least those long-tracked Cape Verde hurricanes, none of that expected, at least not anytime soon. But remember, the peak is in September, so we still have a ways to go before we could even be talking about the end of hurricane season. So as far as that peak, it's still coming, but at least for right now, nothing really happening out in the Atlantic. Back home, it's going to be all summer all the time, especially as that humidity starts to increase the next couple of days. First day of school, still looking like some showers and thunderstorms will be hanging around at least into the afternoon. After that point, we lose the chance for rain, but we gain the heat right back. More news after the break.